It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I hope this camera doesn't fall over. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Hi everybody, welcome to Glamma's Closet. It's a great day. It's a Tuesday. I think it's a Tuesday. I don't know. It's actually a Thursday when we're taping, but it will be a Tuesday. And wanted to start you on the road to reselling. I get a lot of questions about how to get started on reselling. And so for this, we're going to walk you through step by step. Now, I'm not the guy who's going to teach you how to make $100,000 a year on eBay. I am not that guy. I'm not even the guy who can tell you how to make $1,000 on eBay at this point. What I am going to do is I'm going to help you rip off that Band-Aid and just do one thing. Once you do one thing, it's kind of addictive and you'll learn more as we go, and I'll have tips and tricks as we go along. But really it's about just starting. Sometimes it can be intimidating, and you can get in your head and go, well, nobody's going to want this. I think there's really a buyer for everybody, for everything. There's a buyer for everybody's taste. There's a buyer for everything. You just never know. So we're going to get started on Poshmark today, because Poshmark is the most user-friendly app that I've used so far. It's really easy to get started. They make it very step by step. They explain things. You have an ambassador that'll reach out to you. That's another story for another time. But what we want to do right now is we want to just grab one thing from our closet that we're ready to get rid of. We're ready to pass it along to the next guy, save it from a landfill, and make maybe a few bucks off of it as well. So we are choosing one thing today. I chose, oh, hi, Ellie. This is my puppy, Ellie. She's a teeny tiny little huge puppy. Then Ellie likes to come up and say hi. So today we chose a pair of glasses that I got. I got these for a rockabilly themed bachelorette party, and I thought they were really super cute. Let's take a look. I love them, right? I probably need to clean. Yeah, I would definitely need to clean them. But for example purposes, I grabbed this pair of glasses. So what I want you to do is please take one thing from your closet, or one thing that you think you'd like to sell online, and put it in front of you, and get a piece of paper and a pen. After you've put that thing in front of you with a piece of paper and a pen, you want to pick 5 adjectives to describe it. Before you do anything else, let's describe it. So here's an example. These glasses, how would we describe them? Well, we know that they're black glasses and they're cat eye, and they are faux lenses, so non-prescription. They also sport pink rhinestones. Pink rhinestones are a good seller, I think. So we're going to write that down. What are they perfect for? They're perfect for costumes. They're glamorous. So I love the word glamour. You know me. So we'll use the word glamorous and fun, I think. They'll definitely, you'd be wearing these glasses in a fun situation. So this gives us our description. This gives us our general posting. So we have some, if I were looking at it with real glasses on, we have some fun black cat eye glasses with pink rhinestones that are non-prescription and glamorous. So it's got a lot of descriptors, and you're going to want to use those because that's how you sell. You got to tell people what you're selling them, and you can't just be like glasses, because if you pull the word glasses up on Google, you're going to get about 10.5 billion glasses. An exaggeration, but you know what I mean. So we want to look at it, write down every single adjective that you can think of to describe it, because even if you don't use it in your main line, you can use it in the descriptor box below. The second thing we do is measure it. to measure it. And so let's say that I have a tape measure. I'm going to want to measure tape 6 inches across, lens is 3.5 inches down. People ask for measurements. I think it gives them more of a sense of security, and in most cases it also tells them what is going to fit. So if you have teeny tiny little baby glasses and you have somebody who really has sort of a wider face, those may not be a good fit for them. If your glasses are really narrow, that could cause discomfort. So we want to make sure that we get the right buyer is looking for the right thing. So measurements are always important, and again, write those down. Length and width is the very minimal that you want to do. If your item has a size, if it's a t-shirt, if it's a hoodie, you want to make sure and write down the size. And also, if you have any designer listings on it, and when I say designer, I don't mean like super high-end designer. I mean literally like Old Navy. You would write down Old Navy XL, maybe light blue. Color is also a descriptor. Color is probably one of the best descriptors, because there are people who love color, and especially for some reason the purple fans and the black fans, they love it. So if you're a fan of black clothing, which I kind of am, I love light blue stuff too, so I'll look up light blue a lot. But if you're the people who love purple, really love purple, like everything purple. So it's one of those things that you want to make sure and leave that in your descriptor. So you've got your description, you've got your measurement, you've got your item. You put this item in as much light as possible. Ideally, it would be in front of an LED light if you're photographing after dark, because you're really going to want to put as much light as possible, and a flash doesn't always give you what you're looking for. If you're kind of new at it, though, I can tell you that the very best light in the world is sunlight. So if you get a bit of sunlight, put them in a bit of sunlight. Put them on, like, if you like a white background, you can put a white sheet on a table and put the item on top. If you want a black background, you can put a black sheet on a table and put the item on top. So it just depends on what you're photographing, but you want to photograph it from every angle possible. And you can do that with your cell phone. Every single picture that I've taken that I've posted online has all been with my cell phone. So it is definitely possible. If you're not a professional photographer, don't worry about it. Nobody is expecting that from you. They just want to make sure that the item that they're getting is exactly what they're seeing. So we'll want to do from the front. We'll want to do from the sides. We'll want to do from the back. And then we'll want to do any small details. Like in the corner, the rhinestones are a little larger than in the middle, so I want to photograph that corner. I want to photograph the middle, the bridge, so that everybody knows what the bridge looks like, that it does have the rhinestones. I'm going to want to photograph the inside of it, whatever that says. I'm going to want to photograph the ends so they know they're not chewed up. The more photographs you have, the better you have a chance of selling something, because you're not leaving your buyer with a lot of extra questions. So they don't have to follow up with you with questions. They can just, a lot of the times they'll make sometimes a instant decision. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get this. You don't want to hinder that decision. So we do want as many descriptors as possible, and as many measurements as possible, and as many angles as possible when you photograph it. And again, if you're new at this, you don't have to have a light studio. You don't have to have an LED light. You just have to have a little patch of sunlight and put it up there. So go take pictures with your cell phone of the item that we pulled from your closet. Now, when you are taking the pictures, just one last thing, you are going to want to square up, because eBay and Poshmark, it's really important that you have square pictures, because that's how they present your item, is in a square picture. So at the top of your cell phone, when you're taking a picture, when you hit on the camera thing at the top of your cell phone, and I believe this is the same with iPhones and Androids, there is a little box and it'll say like 2-to-1, and that's usually a longer picture. Look for the box that says 1-to-1, hit that before you take your pictures. So once you've hit that, that means that you're already squared up. We're gonna try to get as close to the item as possible. The item ideally should take up at least 70% of the photo, if not more. We want to get as close to the item as possible when we take the picture. I don't want a lot of extra stuff around because what they're shopping is this. It's not all the extra stuff that's in the background. So those are some tips on taking the pictures. And again, it's just one thing. Just one thing. We're not going to hurt you. We're pulling the Band-Aid off. We've got you. For the first time that you choose your price, see if you can find the same item that you're selling, whether it's a shirt or whether it's that. See if you can use your descriptors that you wrote down and Google and see if you can find the same item. It'll give you an idea about where the price is. Sometimes we underprice things and we don't realize what value they have because in our eyes, they don't really have value. It's an old pair of Nikes from 1982 that your grandpa left in the box that you're trying to clear out. But for certain collectors, those are gold. So it's important that you pull up the descriptors in Google and just kind of shop it. Just kind of look and see, okay, you know, this one guy's selling it for 30, this other guy's selling it for 40, this other guy's selling it for 29. So you know that you're going to want to be in the 29 to 40 range, right? To be very competitive, probably drop it down a little bit. So maybe you'll shave off $4 and you'll be like, okay, mine are 25 and it's the exact same product. It's a great way to get things to start moving is to drop the price. But at some point you do need to consider price integrity. And we'll talk about that in our next video. We'll talk about the integrity of pricing and why it's in your best interest to sort of have a stopping point on some of your items. But for now, you've got this, you've chosen a price, you've got the descriptors, you're ready to go. The Poshmark app you can actually upload to your phone. It's probably going to be quickest if you upload to your phone. So if you go on like Google Play or your phone's app system, they probably already have the Poshmark app. It's one of those things where if you are if you've got pretty good vision, you can upload it to your phone. My vision's not what it used to be. So my Poshmark app on my phone is for me like sharing and things like that. And again, we'll talk about those later. But I am of a certain age where my eyesight's starting to get a little fuzzy. So I usually use the Poshmark app to start things on my big computer. So you can do it either on your computer, you can just go to the Poshmark right there and create, or you can download the app on your phone. After you download that app, it will ask you to create a profile. Now, a profile, it would be like just like you did with Facebook, or if you do it with social media with Instagram, it's just telling the world what you want them to know about you. So it's very easy. Poshmark will take you through kind of step by step. It'll say log in or create new member sign in. You want to create a new member sign in. And then create your profile. You can include a picture of yourself, but you don't have to. You can also include a picture of a letter or a dog or a flower or a bumblebee or a blue screen or an ocean or whatever. So if you want to protect your anonymity and you don't want your face on Poshmark, please feel free to use just a regular picture. Once you have created your profile on Poshmark, it'll take you to what's called a feed. And the feed is the main thing where anytime anybody posts anything on Poshmark, the millions of people that are on Poshmark, anytime anybody posts something on Poshmark, it'll boop, add it to the feed. So ignore the feed. Everybody else does, and it's not really, unless you're shopping for something, and even then they have like a specific look it up button sort of. So ignore the feed. You're not there for that. In the upper right-hand corner, next to your profile name, there's a line where it says, you know, do this, do that, share listings, join the party, whatever. And then there's one line that says sell on Poshmark. Click on that. It's not going to hurt you. I promise. You can back out at any time. There's no commitment to it. At this point, you're just, you know, you just have a picture and some descriptions and some measurements. The next thing it's going to ask you is to create a cover shot. And what they mean by that is from all the pictures that you pulled, and usually it's the front vision picture, like the one that's full on, or one that's kind of to the side, because side pictures are really cute. So you want to use that, the front on or the side for your cover picture. And then I always put my second picture is the maker or the designer or the tag. So like if it's Old Navy, you want to make the Old Navy tag your second picture. If it's pair of glasses like this, they have a maker on the inside, and I want to put that as my second picture. And then it doesn't matter what order you do it in after that. You can do, you know, okay, here's the front, here's the back, here's the side, here's the other side, or vice versa. I mean, you can just make sure that you put as many pictures on there as possible. They'll let you upload up to 16. Now, if you're doing it from your computer, when you upload the photos, just go to your whatever file you keep your pictures in, and just click on upload photos, and it'll say, you know, it'll say like swipe and insert, or you can, you know, just double click on the image of the photo that you want that's in that file. And that'll automatically pop up as your cover photo, and then you just do that with the other photos too. It's usually quicker if you do it from your phone, though. It's a lot faster, because you can just go beep, 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 and bam, you're in. So once you have all of the photos uploaded, and let me know if you have any follow-up questions on the photos, you're more than welcome to, at any point, ask me in the questions below. Don't feel nervous about it, because I'm not the $100,000 gal, okay? I'm the girl who's just gotten started. So I'm just sharing what I think would be an easier way to do it with you, because I always do it the jacked up way. So once you've uploaded the photos of your item, then you want to look at your adjectives and give your item a name. You have a certain amount of characters that you can do in the item description. So just make sure to include as much information as you can. If I were describing these, and if I were uploading these to Poshmark tonight, and I actually might, they're really cute, I would start with the word cat eye, because somebody's looking for cat eye. And I would say cat eye, pink rhinestone glasses, faux prescription glasses, something like that, or non-prescription glasses, or maybe fun cat eye non-prescription glasses with pink rhinestones. But I want to include those items in my main description, as many of the cool items as I can about this, because if somebody's looking for, they're like, oh man, I want to, you know, I'm creating a costume and it's this specific person, let's say it's Randy Rainbow, and I need you know, sparkly pink, I need pink rhinestone glasses or pink rhinestone cat eye glasses. They're going to look for that, and yours is going to be the one that pulls up, and we want that for the description. So once we have named our items, we go down to the very next thing, and it says describe your items. So in your description, what you want is kind of a copy, a little fill in the blank of the main description. So I would say pink. I would repeat what I just said. Pink, you know, pink and cat eye glasses with pink rhinestones. And I would get a little bit more descriptive. So I would say, you know, black background, non-prescription, perfect for costumes, very glamorous. I would add those descriptors in that first line. The second line should tell your customer what condition it's in. And in this particular case, these are gently used. They were used, but they're not in bad shape for it. It's not missing any rhinestones. So I would say that these would be gently used. I would clean off the lenses before I ship them to a customer, but I would say that these would be gently used. So it depends. If you have a shirt that is extremely distressed, so it's all ripped up, write extremely distressed. You would be surprised at the number of people who are looking for extremely distressed clothing. If your description is just used, that's great, but you can always add to that too. So I would say very gently used, no visible flaws or cracks, because that's what people are going to want to know. No visible flaws or cracks, and glasses handles are still tight, something like that, just so that they know the overall condition of what they're getting into. And please be very, very honest. You have got to, if you describe something as very good and it shows up and it is not very good, or what the general public would think of as very good, then you're going to hear about it. You'll get the feedback on that. And you don't want bad feedback on any platform if you can avoid it. I mean, there are some people who are going to complain. There are some people who are going to complain if their macaroni's too wet. You know what I mean? There are just some people out there who just really enjoy complaining. I don't know why. That's just their life, and that's how they live their life. But some people have, legitimate complaints. And so if you do everything with integrity, if you truly look at the item and go, okay, it's in good condition. Or if you look at the item and go, it's in good condition, but it's missing a rhinestone, write that down. You, again, would be surprised. And usually if something is missing something, or if something has like flaws or snags or something like that, I will write that in the description. I would put general good condition, but one snag on the bottom right of the sweater, or general used condition, but lenses are dusty, or something like that. So, again, just let people know what they're getting. It's important to be honest. And of course, that's, in general, but specifically in selling, it's really important, especially with online, to be as honest as possible about the condition of the item, because you don't want that to come back to haunt you later. So now you've got your honest description. Now you've got your condition. Now we're going to include those measurements that you took. So you'll say side measurement, 14 inches across and 2 inches wide, or whatever it is that your item is, whatever the measurements are on those. If you have something with a circumference, I would make sure and put the circumference and the diameter. So measure it around and then measure it across, so that people know exactly kind of what they're getting, because usually things with circumference are used for a specific purpose, and a lot of times people are looking for specific measurements. Here's an example, like a wedding vase, a vase for a wedding centerpiece maybe, or table. I used to get the question a lot, well, how far across is the vase? How tall is the vase? How far around is the vase? Because people would put things around it, or in it, or across the top, or, so you get the idea that you just want to have as many good measurements as possible. So at this point, we've got our photos, we've got our description, we have our more detailed description, we have our condition, and we have our measurements. That's where you get out of the description box and go down to the next box. And the next boxes are, they'll ask you the color, they'll ask you the size. Typically for an item that's not clothing, it's like a one size thing, but I don't know. Usually with clothing, they'll have a size. You can also customize that size if it's a clothing size that you don't see listed in there. For example, I had something that was an XL tall, and they did not have XL tall. So I had to customize, and I just hit custom and I just typed it in, and that was it. So they'll ask you to pick a color. If it's multicolored, just pick, as many of the main colors as possible. For this, I would put pink and black. For this sweater, I would put blue, and we just need the one color. And it doesn't have to be the color that exactly matches your color. So for example, this is hot pink, and maybe on the website, it's the pink button looks more like a light pink. It's okay. It just, pink is a good, you just click on the pink. It doesn't have to, they don't have a rainbow like that. They don't have multiple choices. So I can't say light blue. I can say that in the descriptor, but I can't, pick that color. It's just blue. So I pick the color dot, I pick the size. It'll ask you what size. And then it'll ask you what the name brand is. That part's optional. If you don't want to put the name brand on it, don't do it. But a lot of people do put the name brand on it because, some people have favorites. And so you're kind of calling out to your customer. So, for example, if I saw a plain pair of brown riding boots, I'd be like, oh, okay, plain riding boots, maybe, maybe not. If I saw a Ralph Lauren pair of those, I would pick those up because I really like Ralph Lauren. So, there are some people who are really brand loyal in some specific instances, or just look for a specific type of brand. And especially if it's something that, like a Kate Spade bag, or a I don't know, Oscar de la Renta sweater or something like that, you really want to sell that name, and you actually want to have that name. If it's a designer brand, you want to have that name in your description too. So, but for now, let's assume that we're doing like a t-shirt, and it's an Old Navy t-shirt, and you would just choose the designer Old Navy, and it really is on there. It doesn't have to be a designer. It's Poshmark. It's not, the real or something like that. Enter price. With the original price, it'll say original price. Unless you're selling a high-end designer brand, it's probably not in your best interest to put original price. And by the way, when they're asking original price, they're not asking what you paid for it. They're asking what the value of it is. So for example, I have a Narciso Rodriguez dress that I just sent off. That one is brand new. It would have been $2,000. That's a price I'm proud of, because if I'm selling it for $200, somebody knows they're getting a really great deal on a designer piece. If it's Old Navy, if it's Vineyard Vines, if it's Ralph Lauren, if it's LL Bean, you don't have to put what the original price is. I just put 0 in there. And I don't know if you're supposed to or not, but I just put 0 and they let me get away with it. So actually, I think it's okay. Most sellers do put 0 in there, unless they're selling something really high end that, would be a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 thing. So the first price that they have you enter is the original price. The next price is your price, and that's the price that you chose earlier. So let's say that for these glasses, I don't know. I think they're cute and I like them. They're a cute accessory and they're very niche. So I'm probably going to put like 15, 20 bucks on them, something like that. Because I also know that maybe somebody will make me an offer and it'll be, 20, 30, 40, 50% off of what the price is. So I want to leave myself a little bit of wiggle room. So if your t-shirt is, if you're like, oh, I want to put, $20 on the t-shirt and see if I can get it. Put 20 bucks on the t-shirt and see if you can get it. Typically perceived value has a lot to do with reselling. So you want to sell it for as much as you can get for it because you're proud of your item. You should be proud of your item. And if you're not proud of your item, price it even higher. I'm joking. If you're not proud of your item, still sell it. Maybe that's why you're selling it. Okay, so we've got our original price and our new price. And then the last button that they have, you scroll down after the price. It'll tell you, they have their own little window that'll tell you what you would make from it after their cut is taken out, because they have to have a cut. That's what their program is for. Every online platform gets a cut, trust me. It's not, you don't just go in and, if I sell a $20 sweater, you can guarantee that I'm getting, a percentage of that. I'm not, everybody takes commission. Everybody gets a bite of the sandwich. Otherwise, why have the sandwich? So you can scroll down after that. You don't really have to put like an item number or a SKU. It'll have like additional info. Ignore that for your first posting. We'll get into that in another video, but it's not really necessary for your first posting because you don't have a closet full of 2,000 things that need to be organized and have a SKU number. So then in the bottom it says post, and you just click post, and you're in. Now, sometimes after you click post, it'll say list to your followers, which you always want to do. You want to list to your social media. So if you have Facebook, something like that, for your first listing, list it there. Let everybody know. It's kind of a heads up for everybody that you are selling. It's a good reminder that, now you're selling something on Posh. Now you're thinking about becoming a reseller. So it's a great way to get support. It's also good to share. If it says, everything something party, go ahead and share it to the party. If it qualifies for the party, and it wouldn't give you the option if it didn't. So if it's like share it to the blank party, share it to that party. And really it's just a matter of just pointing and clicking, or on your phone, you just hit, yeah, sure, let's list it. And that's it. That's it. That's pulling off the Band-Aid. So you pick an item, describe it, measure it, view its condition, take some pictures, put those pictures into, and all you have to do is just click the thing and it'll download the picture. It literally says, like, there's like a little square box and it says download the pictures, and you click it, and it'll help you upload the pictures. I said it's a really user-friendly platform. It'll actually kind of, let you pick the picture, and then it works like that. And then we give a few more descriptions, put a price on it, and hit list, and you are done. And now you've got something for sale online, something for resale. So I hope that this was informative. I hope that you took notes while you were going along, and I hope that if you have any questions, you please list them below. Thank you very much for joining me this week. And I appreciate the time. I truly appreciate the time that you take with me every week. Glamma loves you. You can do this. Bye.